One lock, this is it. We're pretty excited. This is a big one, guys. Let's talk to Fred first to kick this off.
Excited about our new one lock system.
Dude, this thing looks fast.
It's fast, it's smooth, dragless, and it's easy to set up.
Man, how easy is it to set up?
I mean, it takes like literally 8 seconds, I think, is what we put online. But if you want to go faster, you can probably go faster. We did a little race up there where Jeff McKee, our wake guy, faced Elliot, our wind guy. And Elliot was able to set up and take apart his foil 6 times in the same amount of time it took McKee to set up his Phantasm foil. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty
he could have
awesome
been on the water 6 times and off the water 6 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of time saving. But it's not just like the novel idea of getting on the water quicker. It's that without all those screws that we had on our Phantasm, there's a lot less drag. So I found that when you let off the wing, sometimes if you go back to the Phantasm after riding this, you'll feel like there's a little pull down. You know, when you're e-foiling, you let on the throttle and it's immediately going down.
Yeah, immediately.
You got to shift your weight back.
Yeah, you got that back shift
so
situation.
Screw foils feel a little bit like that, not quite as extreme, but when you go to this system, you let off the wing or kite, or you're downwind supping, the lift always stays constant. So we actually find the rider can progress faster and be on smaller wings sooner because of that. The goal is to win the wind people. So
there are a lot of wind people on Phantasm.
There are a lot of wind people, yeah.
Show us the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, you want to see it? So
basically, the lack of nuts and bolts.
Basically, this is the mast one piece, front wing is one piece monoblock, and the stabilizer is one piece monoblock. So there's no more fuselage. It's all gone.
That base plate. Beautiful,
yeah, that's our multi-hole top plate. So it's a lot of different ways to set it up. You can do 5 screws, you can do normal screws, or you can do our new RTS kit that I'll show you in a second. But on the top here, we've got basically the mast that morphs into this collar. The front wing and back wing expand inside the collar, and that's held together and pulled together by this latch that you have here with a little Dyneema line. You basically put it into the slot and then you tighten it down. That's locked in. But what's great about this system is it's not actually the line holding the system together. There's a lot of friction there because it's expanded and seated into the triangle here, and I'll describe that in a second. But no matter how hard you pull, you can't get it out until you start wiggling the back. As you wiggle it, because it's on an angle, I'll show you that in a sec, it wiggles, it basically rocks itself out. So you see that little line there? Yeah. That was all the way in, now it's slowly making its way out.
He's not pulling, he's just wiggling.
Yeah, until it comes all the way out. And then the front wing, if you zoom back in here, when the stabilizer is in, it's pushing right here and seating that into the upper triangle in the collar. So the front and back have been seated, and then you basically hit the front down, unseats the back, and then hit the top of the wing up, unseats the front, and then it quickly comes out.
And it's all really low load.
You're very low load. There's no mallets, nothing.
Yeah.
And basically what's happening...
No mallets.
No mallets.
So what do we do with the mallets now?
You take them back to the hardware store. So anyway, so what's happening is you've got these two systems being pulled together and expanding. So it's going to basically slide forward and expand into this system that is a certain shape. And so out of the mold, it's going to come and seat into the system at about this amount. And then over time, as you use it and you wear carbon from sliding in and out, it just pulls in further. So you never get to that point where your front wing is rocking like we've seen in Hoverglider or some other brands on the market where they're super tight out of the mold because they're made to fit. And then over time, as they get used, they roll side to side and they get loose. And so then you got to put screws everywhere to hold them together. So this system has been designed to last longer by pulling closer together. And then the Dyneema line, you can actually tighten it. It's adjustable. So you undo this, basically slide it out, and it tightens the line overall. So pretty cool system overall. And what's great too is you only have to buy 3 products to get foiling, right? The mast comes with our RTS kit that I'll show you in a second. The front wing comes with a latch and then a spare kit of a latch and a little pin here and a little fin key. So you can switch out your latch if you accidentally crush it. And the latch has been engineered to have a slightly softer density than our carbon because this is a $300 piece. This is a $15 piece. So if you accidentally were to over tighten, just like you snap your screw on your foil and you accidentally break the wing or something like that, it's better that the screw breaks than that the wing breaks. And so this is the same concept. We want the latch to break before the stabilizer, just for cost. We can go down here. We didn't just stop there with the drag and the release of this. We wanted to also make setup easier to the board. So we have our new thing called the RTS. You saw it earlier in the Hoverglide last year, but it didn't work on Phantasm because of our plate shape. So we redesigned the plate in our new one lock foil, and we've got these T-locks back here that are double-sided, so you can get a lot of leverage over them. They basically just slide off. The other side slides off just by unscrewing it. And then what we found is we needed to add a little bit of preload in the mast because if we didn't, this mast would rock side to side and these would come loose. So you see that little gap there?
Yep.
That basically, when you tighten it down, I'll show you quick. Let's loosen it. When you tighten that down, as I'm tightening, you see how it's slowly getting tighter and tighter to the board. So there's always load on these two T-locks, even if the foils are rocking from side to side, because of that preload that we built into the sled and anchor up here that I'll show you in a sec.
These articulate.
Yeah,
right?
so if that's wrong, like let's say you tighten it and it gets to here, you just lift it up and put it in line.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
that's
and so there's less drag there.
my favorite part.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, unscrewing it super easy. And then in the front, you basically, to get the rest of it off, is you tilt the whole mast forward, and it just pulls itself out of the system super easily. So these are what we call the sleds, and they bolt onto the mast plate, and then we have these anchors that sit inside your board. So if you wanted to have multiple boards but one foil, depending on the wind, like you have a laser craft for light wind and a flow craft for heavy wind, but you wanted to keep setup super easy, you could buy the RTS board kit that comes with these two anchors, set them up on either board, and then just switch out your mast in 2 seconds without taking your whole foil apart or undoing the screws. Then on the top, if somebody for whatever reason didn't want to use this RTS kit, they can use these two bolts and these two, take those off and use the T-nuts and both anchors and flag screws and basically mount their system normally like you would with any other brand. So you can do both options, but we're sending every mast with an RTS kit just to try to
mast comes with it?
Comes with the kit, yeah.
Cool, okay.
It costs us a bunch of money to do that, but we really felt like we needed to make the whole system easy to assemble, just because not everyone can own a Sprinter van. You know, a lot of people have small cars and they want to get on the water as quickly as possible.
A lot of people don't know how to use a screwdriver, man.
That too, or they strip them or things like that. So this, once you set it up, you do it once when you get to your board. You basically keep these flags or these sleds loose, put it into the anchors, and once they're aligned, because each person's tracks are a little bit different,
look at that.
You tighten those down. They're locked in, and then you can just assemble the back.
Done.
Quite easily. T-nut there. Tighten the back down. Tighten that down. Once that's tight, then go up to the foil. Slide the last in. Full assembly. Don't time me because I'm not going too fast, but it is still pretty quick, even though I'm not even trying.
I haven't seen a screwdriver come out yet.
You haven't yet. Latch down the foil and you're good to go.
That's it.
And it's
Wow,
still super
that's
stiff.
it.
It's a strong connection because of the way that we've engineered it. I've probably broken 50 masts this year alone, trying to get to the right layup and the right geometry. And we actually had to spend a bunch of money to retool everything, because we found our geometry was limiting our strength. So
You guys
change
did
the
it.
internal shape.
Congratulations,
of the collar.
man. This is incredible.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. It's definitely very different from other foils on the market, but it took us 3 years to develop, and we feel pretty confident that it will change how people look at foils, not just from an assembly perspective, but also from the drag limiting perspective that we've engineered into it.
They did it. They went full carbon fuselage.
A lot of people wanted
carbon.
Carbon fuselage.
First one.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted the carbon fuselage for Phantasm. We tried to make one, but we were very limited by the geometry on there too, because of the mast butt being wider for windsurfing and winging with spanning wings.
Sure.
And so we made some, and I just kept breaking them because we couldn't get them to be stiff enough to the point where they wouldn't crack out. This whole system has been re-engineered without that mast foot being a limiting factor. So
Not breaking.
Not breaking.
not breaking, yeah.
Fantastic.
No breaking.
We're going to get that QR code updated, guys.
Yeah.
Go straight to the Houston Kiteboarding Shop.
There's been a lot of questions about sand in the system. We'll just add a little sand there. See, that's probably more than you really want in your system. We'll put it together here. Slide it all the way in. Throw some sand in the back just in case. Slide the fuse in. Hear that crunching? Then we'll put the latch on. Slide it all the way in. And listen really quickly. Sand sliding in. Still super stiff overall system. Not moving whatsoever. Take it apart. Super easy. Last to not stick. Done.
That was an excellent description from Fred. Lots of good information there. But as always, we have to get it and try it on the water. Kite foiled it, pumped it, tanker surfed it, paddle surfed it, the whole deal. Got it out on the wing. I even tried it on downwind board, although my downwind skills are still in development. And the results are in. He's right. Stiff, easy to put together, and super efficient. Unbelievably more efficient. You just can't imagine how much drag those bolts have, you know. And then once you get used to assembling a system like this, you know, I went back to my Axis setup, and like we've been doing these demos on the Hydrofoil gear, and man, putting everything together with the bolts, it's like you really notice how long it takes. So I'm really pumped about the One Lock for 2025. We have a bunch coming. We're gonna have it all on the first day. We're gonna have it before everybody else. So get those pre-orders in and let us know what questions you have. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the water. If there's anything we can do to help, please reach out.